Hello everyone, I'm Nazwa Zahra, and today I'm really excited to introduce a textbook that helped me understanding academic writing in a much simple and more meaningful way. The title of the book is Essay Writing Skill: Essential Technique to Gain Top Grades, written by Jacqueline Connelly and Patrick Forsyth. Okay guys, I want to ask you some questions. Have you ever started a blank document for hours because you didn't know how to begin an essay? Or maybe you already had many ideas in your head, but somehow they become messy when you started writing. Well, if your answer is yes, trust me, you are divinely not alone. I used to feel exactly the same way. I thought writing an essay only meant making long paragraphs using difficult vocabularies and trying to sound academic. But after reading this textbook, my perspective completely changed. And honestly, this book is not just about writing essay. It is about learning how to organize thoughts, express ideas clearly, and communicate confidently. Alright, let's get it started. First, let me introduce the background of this book. This textbook was published in 2011 by Kogan Page Limited and written by Jacqueline Connelly and Patrick Forsyth. They are experienced being writers and educators. The main goal of this book is to help students improve their essay writing skills step by step in a practical and understandable way. At first, I thought this would be another boring academic textbook full of complicated theories. But surprisingly, the writing style is actually simple, direct, and easy to follow. It feels more like a teacher guiding you personally rather than a lecturer giving difficult explanation. The main purpose of this book is to help students improve their essay writing abilities step by step. The author understands that many students struggle with academic writing, so they create this book to make essay writing easier and more understandable. This book is especially suitable for university students, particularly students in English education, literature, social science, and other subjects that require academic writing. However, I think high school students can also get benefit from this book because writing skills are important at every level of education. If I had to give this book a rating, I would personally give it 4.5 out of 5 stars because the explanations are clear, practical, and very helpful for improving academic writing skills. Okay, now let's break down what's inside this book chapter by chapter. In the first chapter, the book explains what an academic essay actually is and why essay writing is important in education. The authors explain that essays are not just assignments to get grades, but they are also a way to develop critical thinking, analytical skills, and communication skills. I think this chapter is really important because it changed the way students see essay writing. Then, in the next chapter, the book focuses on the foundation of good writing. It discusses grammar, punctuation, sentence structure, and paragraphing. Usually, topics like grammar sound boring, right? On this book, the explanations are easy to understand. The author even gave examples of unclear writing and explained how to improve it into clearer academic writing. After that, the book talks about research and preparation before writing essay. The author explained how to understand essay question correctly, how to gather information, and how to organize ideas before starting to write. I think this chapter is extremely useful because many students often begin writing immediately without proper planning. Another important chapter focuses on how to build a well-structured essay. This chapter covers how to make a good start by creating an effective opening paragraph, how to organize the central content by presenting clear arguments and logical body paragraph, and also how to create an appropriate conclusion that gives a strong ending in the essay. And finally, one of my favorite parts is that the book provides examples of good essay and explain why those essays are effective. The author also explained common mistakes that students should avoid when writing essays, such as weak arguments, unclear sentences, and poor paragraph organization, and also grammatical errors. Now, let's move to strengths and weaknesses from this book. The first strength is the clear and simple explanation. The author uses language that is easy to understand, so even beginners can follow the material without feeling overwhelmed. The second stage is the systematic structure. The book guides readers step by step, starting from basic concept until more advanced writing technique. Because of this, readers can learn gradually and comfortably. Another strength is this book provides several examples of good essay and explain them clearly, which is very helpful because sometimes students understand the theory but still confused about how a proper essay should actually look. By reading the example, reader can learn how to organize ideas, develop argument, and write more effectively. Besides of that, the book also explains what students should pay attention and what they should avoid when writing essay, such as unclear arguments, overlay complicated sentence, weak paragraph structure, and grammatical mistakes. At the same time, the author emphasized important aspects like clarity, logical organization, critical thinking, and proper referencing, which makes the book feel very practical and useful to improve academic writing skill. However, no book is perfect, and this textbook also has some weaknesses. The first weakness is the lack of visual. There are not many diagrams, chart, or illustration, so sometimes the page feels too full of text. Personally, I think additional visual would make the explanation more interesting and easier to understand, especially for visual learners. Another weakness is that some explanations are little repetitive. Certain ideas about clarity, paragraph structure, and essay organization appear several times throughout the chapters. Although repetition helps reader remember the material, some people may feel that it becomes slightly repetitive after a while. I also noticed that some chapters contain long explanation without many interactive activities or exercises. For some students, especially those who prefer learning by practicing, the book may sometimes feel too theoretical. But overall, these weaknesses are still minor compared to the useful of the book. And now, let's answer the most important question. Why should we read this book? First, this book can generally help students improve their academic performance. Since essays are a major part of school and university assessment, a better writing skill can directly lead to better grades. Second, this book teaches critical thinking in a very practical way. It doesn't tell the readers think critically, but it shows how to do it. How to analyze ideas, evaluate argument, and organize opinion logically. And finally, this book helps build confidence. Before reading this textbook, I often felt nervous whenever I got an essay assignment. But after understanding the writing process step by step, essay writing became less stressful and much easier to manage. So, if you are someone who struggles with essay or want to become a better writer, I really recommend this textbook. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this review was useful and interesting for all of you. Have a wonderful day and thank you.